Thanks for visiting with me this afternoon to hear a little bit about where we are in our fight against the pandemic. And I wanted to show you this yard sign that Anita and I have in our front yard. Because while normally I thank everyone for doing their part at the end of this talk, I wanted to begin today by thanking each and every one of the people that are represented by this yard sign. All the firemen, all the policemen, all of our first responders and emergency technicians, our hospital care workers, our grocers, our public safety and other city staff. So thank you for all that you have done to keep us going through this pandemic. So as we start out each week, where are we? What do the numbers show for our community and for our region? As I've mentioned before, the numbers that I look most closely at are the hospitalizations in Harlingen and Cameron County as a marker. And the reason I do that is because we know it is an absolutely reliable number. Even though we can tell you how many folks have tested positive, there are probably more people who are positive who just haven't received a test. The hospitalizations tell with certainty how many are so sick that they have had to be hospitalized. Today in Harlingen, we have 4 positives in our hospitals and 9 more suspected, and those are called PUIs, or persons under investigation. The PUIs are being treated as if they are positive pending their test results. 13 is one of the lowest numbers we have had in Harlingen. For example, on May 29th, about 1 month ago, we had double that number. In Brownsville, there are 9 positives and 18 PUIs for a total of 27, and that's a little higher than the 22 that Brownsville hospitals had back on May 29th. But overall, the hospital capacity in Cameron County is very good, meaning that we're not close to running out of hospital space for COVID-19 patients or ICU space. Overall, we are testing more people in Cameron County than we have early on. So far, as of today, we have tested 9,696 tests, which has been performed by private labs, UTRGV, National Guard, and the test site in Brownsville, where both Brownsville and Harlingen residents can be tested. Of those nearly 10,000 tested, we have 711 of our county neighbors who have tested positive, so that's only 0.073%, or less than 10%, just 7.3%. And of the 711 positives, 498 have recovered, leaving 213 people known to still be sick. So that is a welcome sign as well. Our nursing homes have been one of the great tragedies nationwide, throughout our state, and here in Harlingen. And the number of deaths COVID-19 appears to have caused our nursing home residents has been very troubling. 26 of our own nursing home residents here in Harlingen have died, and that's a horrible reality and a painful loss to those families who have loved ones who died because they contracted the virus in the nursing home. Our hearts and prayers go out to them. However, we can now see that of the 32 employees at one nursing home who tested positive, 27 have recovered, and of the 61 residents testing positive, 27 have recovered. Likewise, at the second nursing home, where 39 employees tested positive, 24 have recovered, and 4 of the 60 residents have recovered. And we're confident, optimistically, cautiously confident, that most of the rest of the residents will recover because they have survived the initial 14-day period. but the CDC guidelines require a longer recovery before they can officially be declared recovered. And so we pray for those residents who we believe are recovering in our nursing homes. And we are grateful for that positive news. Governor Abbott has ordered all nursing home patients to be tested for COVID-19, and that has begun in Cameron County, and we will be seeing that done here in Harlingen all this week. Governor Abbott also yesterday announced more businesses or activities could be conducted. In particular, he ordered that water parks could open on May 29th at 25% capacity. He's ordered that recreational sports programs for adults could resume, that driver's education programs could resume, and that food courts within malls could also open. And also, our Department of Public Safety offices are going to be opening with limited services. Now, all of those things are good news. They're all seem to show that our numbers are going in the right direction, and we want to see our businesses and our activities resume. But we also want you to remember that we need to continue these practices of washing our hands and sanitizing areas. And I ask you to wear your face mask, wear a face covering, because even though it's not mandatory by the governor's orders, it is something that we can do to protect each other, because if we unknowingly have the virus and we breathe on somebody, we could cause them to contract the virus. And so the troubling news about our nursing homes and all the people who've been infected there are stark reminders of how contagious this virus is and still is. And as we reopen, it continues to be important that we physically distance, that we use face masks. Our churches are all beginning to reopen, many of them with these same kinds of practices or protocols of face masks and physical distancing, and not passing the peace, not shaking hands, and keeping family units a little bit apart from one another. Let's keep doing that so that we can keep these numbers low, but that we can also stay open with our businesses and our activities. In the last 2 or 3 times that I've visited with you, I've said, don't be afraid to go to the doctor. We don't want to lose more people from not going to the doctor and being examined for health needs or serious illness. We don't want to lose more people to serious illness than to COVID-19 because they were afraid to go to the doctor or the hospital. Continue to go to the doctor and the hospital, because we don't want anyone to have these serious health problems get worse. We continue to do testing, as we mentioned, almost 10,000 tests now in Cameron County, and we continue to do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays here in Harlingen at the UT RGV campus on Treasure Hills Boulevard. And on May 28th, the National Guard will be at the Harlingen Soccer Complex from 9 to 5, also conducting free testing. You have to call ahead, though, for an appointment. That's 512-883-2400 for an appointment with the National Guard at the Soccer Complex on May 28th. Again, we thank all of the volunteers and people who have donated to our food banks and who are continuing to donate to our food banks and helping distribute food. We'll be distributing food, the food bank of the Rio Grande Valley, at our Harlingen Soccer Complex again on June 10th and 17th from 9 a.m. to 11, and at the Way of the Cross Ministries on F Street on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. near Jackson and F Street. So continue to help, continue to do your part, even as we reopen more businesses in our community. Thank you for doing your part, and until next time, please stay healthy and safe.